Can you get in the truck, please, honey?
Turn your back on me.
Honey, baby, get in the truck.
Get in, Jimmy! Get in, Jimmy! Take him down. Arrest him! Keith!
Back off!
What the fuck are you doing? Get this motherfucker out of here! God damn it, what are you doing? Keith, what the fuck are you doing?
Shut up!
You gonna let him get away with that? Huh?
It's okay, baby, get in the truck.
Doesn't look okay.
It's okay.
That's Jason Statham and Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob SquarePants in the latest film, Homefront, latest film to come out of the Jason Statham action canon. It concerns Jason Statham plays an ex-DEA agent who has now retired from the DEA scene, probably due to its danger, as we see in the opening scene where he's busting some motorcycle drug gang. And now he's decided to retire to a small Louisiana town and raise his daughter, because the mother has died, I guess. She's alluded to, but we really don't know what happened. And he's raising a single daughter and trying to stay out of trouble, but people just keep pushing him. Here, his daughter beats up some fat kid at school who's bullying her, and then the parents want an apology, and as we see, Statham starts to try to be cool, but ends up beating up the guy, and that pisses this broad off, who goes and tells her brother, played by James Franco, who's like the local drug lord, and he involves some people because he finds out about Statham's past, and brings in some old enemies from his past as a DEA agent, some biker mobster types. And they come in, and well, Statham's got to protect his daughter and himself and kick some ass. And the problem with this movie is he doesn't kick enough ass. This is one of those action movies that's just a little too short on action. Needs about 2 or 3 more good action scenes, and it would be a serviceable action film. It feels like a straight-to-DVD movie, and I think it played in theaters but for like a week or two, and then retired to DVD where it belongs. It feels like a Claude Van Damme or Steven Seagal movie from like the late 80s, early 90s, but with, again, not enough action. Statham does a fine job. I like him as an action star. I like a lot of his movies. This is one of the weaker ones. I gotta say, Statham's done pretty well for himself, carving out a niche as a big American action hero, despite the fact that he's short, bald, and from England. Somehow he pulls it off, mostly due to his action hero chin and his bassy masculine voice. He's got a great voice. He's not even a martial artist, but they always choreograph the fight scenes decent, and he pulls it off. The main reason I think that he pulls it all off is because he's actually a pretty good actor. He's no, Laurence Olivier, but he's better than Stallone, Claude Van Damme, and Seagal all rolled in together. This film is actually written by Sylvester Stallone, which I didn't know. He probably wrote it years ago and meant to play the lead role. Now he's too old, and he's like, "You give it to my buddy Jason, he'll do a good job." Because those two must be buddies, right? They're in the Expendables and stuff. Expendables, there's an example of a fun action film that felt like a late 80s, early 90s action film. Of course, that's what it was homage to mostly. But it had enough action, maybe too much even. Enough. The first one, I didn't like the second one. This movie, again, just needs more action. Statham's not the problem, it's the lack of action. James Franco shows up as a villain. Is this guy just going to play southern white trash drug dealers now? I really liked him in Spring Breakers. He was totally mesmerizing as the villain in that. Here he plays a watered-down, saccharine version of that. He could be interchangeable with anybody as the villain, and I don't know what he's doing here. It actually makes me think maybe his acting career is losing steam. Just that he shows up in this low-rent movie. Winona Ryder also shows up. I was surprised to see her. I thought that she had aged really badly, because the last time I saw her was J.J. Abrams' Star Trek film, but I guess she had old lady makeup because she looks cute again in this film. The best thing I'd say this movie has going for it, besides Statham's acting and charisma, is the locations. It's filmed in rural shithole Louisiana. There's even a couple scenes in New Orleans in the French Quarter, but most of it around the New Orleans area. And you get a good feel for the location. That's one thing this movie does right. Here's the best fight scene in the movie, by the way, so now that you've seen this, you don't have to see the movie. The final battle takes place at night, a bunch of shooting and explosions, and it's badly directed and edited and confusing and really anticlimactic. Film's directed by Gary Fletter, director of such forgettable movies as Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead, Runaway Jury, Kiss the Girls, Don't Say a Word. All have one thing in common. They're watchable at best. Nothing special about them, and nothing special about this. Unless you're a diehard Statham fan, I don't see any reason to see this film. Skip this one. And until next time, thanks for joining me on the Kris Kondrad Movie Review Show.